Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I'm reviewing an old model locomotive that my brother owned and I borrowed from time to time when I was young. It's a class 47 and it's one of a very few that was actually named by Hornby. So let's have a look at the end of the box. And you can see here it says R073 BR class 47 diesel locomotive. These were manufactured from 1979 to 1982, and there was approximately 16,000 of these manufactured as standalone models, like you can see here, and there was 11,600 produced in train sets. So 27,600. Now my brother put this in storage, I would imagine about 1982. So we're talking 42 years ago. And I do not think this has been run since. You can tell by the sort of dust on the transparency there that this has been in storage for a while. So anyway, I'm going to open it up and get it onto the track and let's see if it works. Okay, so here is our class 47 Mammoth, who hasn't been run in 42 years. I was reading, I did a little bit of research on this, that there were very few of them were actually named, which is interesting. So I don't know if that increases the rarity of this particular locomotive. Anyway, I noticed it's missing a hook at the other end. This one does have a hook, which is great. Now, as a kid, I wasn't a big fan of the class 47, but I did borrow this from time to time, and it was a very good runner back in the day. So let's give it a go. I've got her on full power because I don't think she's going to be doing much on half power these days. So let's see if we can get any life out of her. Oh, nothing. Let's try the other direction. Okay, we're going to have to give her a little bit of a coaxing. Okay, try again. Nope. Okay, let's get in and give it a little bit. Oh, my goodness. It's like waiting for a bus. Oh, I am shocked to the core. Wow. This thing runs after so many years. Oh my God, I am shocked at that. I am in disbelief. Let's slow her down a little bit. Oh my God. Wow, I just noticed there's a light on as well on the headboard. Yeah, it's got directional lighting. Who would believe that? Well, it goes without saying this, I'm going to have to give it a service, but my goodness, I am shocked. That is a big surprise. Maybe my brother was secretly maintaining this every now and again. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. I am super impressed. Wow. Well done, Hornby. My goodness. Well, I think this goes a lot to say to my brother's oiling of the axles and stuff like that. when he was a teenager, because I did not think this was going to be a runner. So, wow, I'm so delighted. Now, the story of how I ended up with this is my brother didn't have the same passion for his model rail collection, and he and I did a deal, and I picked up all of his train set stuff, and this was one of them. So no doubt he'll be watching this to see his old train kick back into life. So I'm going to give it a full service anyway, even though it's going extremely well. But yeah, that was a shock. I'm really surprised how well that went. All right, I'll take it to the bench, strip it down, give it a service. Okay, I've removed the body, and this is just a tip, I suppose, for people that haven't done this type of operation before. And this tip would help you protect the body from cracking. So these are the types of bodies where you have to prise them off. You can see just beneath the door, there's a slot, and halfway along here, and then again at the door. Now these marry up with clips along the side of the body here. You can see one there. And you have to prise that apart and drop the chassis out. Now obviously, with this being a very old model, the plastic will have aged a little bit and become a little bit more on the brittle side. So what I advise you to do is to use these types of things. Now these are called glue spreaders, made of plastic, and if you just put those in where you would put your nails, I suppose, and then drop the chassis out, there'll be, generally speaking, there'll be no damage. If you start using screwdrivers and the like, you are running the risk of cracking the body. So yeah, and when I dropped this one out, this piece here dislodged, but it sits on a couple of pins, and I'm now going to drop out the motor bogie just by pushing that forward and dropping it out. I'm not going to desolder anything. These cables will have become a little bit brittle as well. If I start desoldering, I'll probably have to end up rewiring the whole thing, but we know at this stage it's working. So yeah, I'll drop out the front and take the brushes out, lubricate the gears, and then I'll start working on the other side. Okay, that's it meantime. Okay, so what have we done so far? Well, I've removed the brushes and the spring. I'll just use a marker. So the one brush in here and then one the other side, plus the springs. There's a wire here which connects to this metal tab. That is unfortunately broken away. The connector's there, so I'll need to solder that back onto the cable. But I'll need to take this cover off to get to the armature, to give it a clean, etc. And there's two tabs either side which release, so I need to move some of these cables out of the way. So yeah, let's get on with that. Okay, so I've cleaned the armature commutator thing and used IPA on it, and then a glass fibre brush, and she's as clean as a whistle. Mind you, it wasn't that bad with carbon buildup. I've seen many locomotives that are way worse than this one. So yeah, that probably explains partly why she ran from the get-go. But you know, it's like, I'm here now, I might as well service it properly. I've still got that cable to solder back. Bit disappointed about that, really. This is the end that broke from the connector. Yeah, disappointed, but I mean, it's one of those things when you're pulling one of those connector spades off of the metal tab that's been there for 40 plus years. It's no surprise that it might be a little bit brittle and come away. So anyway, I've cleaned around the fitment areas around here. This is all clean as well now. So I can close this up, and then I'm going to work on the gears on the other side. And then once I've done that, I'll put the facing back on now, the cover. I'll solder this on, and then I think I'll do the gears. Okay, welcome back, and you've just seen a video of a test run of the Class 47 Mammoth going around the track without its body shell. So I'll just bring you up to date. I haven't been working on this continuously because there's been other sort of small projects, and I had flu for a little while as well, so that delayed me a little bit. So the bits that were soldered, if I just bring you to that, were on the motor tab. The one that I mentioned before was this one here. So this is using some flux to get a really nice solder connection. So that's new. And this side as well, this tab again was brittle as well, so I soldered that on, and then the connector from the wire completely came away, so there's two sort of solder joints, and that's why I test run them. So it's back on the bench just to get its cover placed back on, but I just put some blue tack under the cabs, under here, just to make sure that these connections, you can see it, there's a plastic tab comes through the hole here. Maybe 40 odd years ago this was a tight fit. It isn't anymore, so it doesn't stay in that position too great. So there's a small bit of sort of fresh blue tack, one beneath here, one at the other side, and same down at this cab end. You can't see them because the blue tack's underneath here. And that's just going to hold it firmly in place, especially for putting the cover back on, and then when it's running or when you're handling the model, taking it off the layer. But yeah, very pleased. The brushes and everything has been cleaned up. The commutator has been cleaned. The gears have been greased. So that's the Class 47 Mammoth running number D1670, back in full running condition. Had a running there with some sort of blood and custard type coaches, which would have probably been quite close to the type of rolling stock it would have had back in the day in the 1960s. So yeah, very pleased how the Locomotive ran after its long hibernation, but now it's been serviced. We should have sort of 40 years ahead of it without any problems. So yeah, really pleased. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.